We're back here at the Wheelers Center. Jeffrey Childs and Tom Appleton, our producer, here tonight. Glad to have you along with us on this Friday night. Let's go over the competition roster now for both teams. We'll try to run through each event here as we continue along in the pregame show. In the compulsory for Belmont Abbey, it's Isabella Shrout, Sadie Hunt, Caitlin Blakeney, and Alyssa Westbrook. And for the Tornado, Bridget Sweeney, Carolyn Etter, Kinsey Storer, Hannah Riley. Pretty much the same for both teams for the pyramid, the toss, and the tumbling. In the 5-element heat in the acro for Belmont Abbey, Mackenzie Liniger, Sarah Brady, Grace Carroll, Brielle Ahaz, and Caitlin Blakely, along with Westbrook, Audette Lanier, and Bouchier. For King in the acro in the 5-element, it's Vanessa Neubauer, Abby Frazier, Lauren Hurley, Kate McCracken, and Carrington Coffey, and Autumn Nidifer for the Tornado there in the acro. The 5-element, 6-element synchronized, 7-element. In the heat, or in heat 1 in the pyramid for the Crusaders, Sarah Brady, Grace Carroll, Brianna Bouchier, Brielle Ehaz, Alyssa Westbrook, Mackenzie Liniger, and Annika Joling for the Crusaders there, along with Peyton Lanier, the captain. For King, Vanessa Neubauer, Kinsey Storer, Autumn Nidifer, Kate McCracken. It is Anna Sonicson, Carolyn Etter, and Lauren Hurley. Then we move on to the 4th event of the evening, the toss. Crusaders, Lanier, Westbrook, Audette, McKenna Shane, Brielle Ehaz, Sarah Brady, and Shrout, Liniger, Blakely, Carroll, Bouchier, and Brady. And then for the Tornado, Bridget Sweeney, Carolyn Etter, Carrington Coffey, Brooke Dobson, Lauren Hurley. Then we get to the duo, trio, quad, aerial, and open for the tumbling. For the Crusaders, Sadie Hunt and Lanier in the duo, Fluellen, McKenna Shane, Megan Henry in the trio. And then for the Crusaders in the quad, Paige Morgan, Adressa Orendane, Brielle Ehaz, and Anna Audette. For the aerial, it's Tia Fluellen. 6-element is Sadie Hunt, and in the open, Megan Henry. Countering for King, Carolyn Etter and Bobby Ramage Cooper in the duo, along with Dobson, Coffey, Storer, the trio. The quad is Frazier, Sweeney, McCracken, Sonicson. Aerial is Etter, 6-element is Storer and Dobson in the open. And then to the final team event, which will be our final event of the evening for Belmont Abbey. Annika Joling, Nicole Anderson, Paige Morgan, Tia Fluellen, Sadie Hunt, McKenna Shane, Caitlin Blakeney, Allison Gagnon, Mackenzie Liniger, Brielle Ehaz, Andressa Orendane, Megan Henry, Alyssa Westbrook, Isabella Shrout, Sarah Brady, Brianna Bouchier, Anna Audette, Carolyn Sylvester, Grace Carroll, and Peyton Lanier. 20 players in the team event. And the opposite for King here, Vanessa Neubauer, Abby Frazier, Lauren Hurley, Carolyn Etter, Bridget Sweeney, Kinsey Storer, Carrington Coffey, Autumn Nidifer, Olivia Salamina, Lynn Goodman, Hannah Riley, Brianna Sabatino, Brooke Dobson, Bobby Ramage Cooper, Melissa Adams, Anna Sonicson, Madeline Davis. King has 18, actually 2 less in the team event. That's it for our starting lineups here for each competition. We've got a final timeout here. We'll come back to start this one off. Home opener for acrobatics and tumbling. Coming up next on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Here we go, the first compulsory, the acro for the Tornado. King has taken a hit from their roster. A lot of players graduated from last year, but they are expected to do well in the acro portion of the compulsory. Expected score of 10. Belmont Abbey expected to score an 8 here in the acro portion. And now the Crusaders, after a few moments, will get their turn. And here come the Crusaders. Very fitting. We're debuting Acro and Tumbling with the Olympics going on right now. Crusaders expected to score an 8 in their scoring preview here in the Acro. Crusaders rounded out. Little stumble there at the start, and then turn things around near the end of the Acro. All right, we're back here. We're in the first portion of tonight's acrobatics and tumbling meet. Each team has completed the Acro. Here comes King. We'll see what they have in store for us with the pyramid. King, again, they're really good at the compulsory event, expected to score a perfect 10 in this event. All right, going to step out here for another minute. Pay some bills on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, welcome you back here. We are in the pyramid as part of the compulsory. Belmont Abbey about ready to start. Crusaders with an expected score of a perfect 10. Again, just expected. And they have to actually perform out there.
Up next in compulsory pyramid will be the Belmont Abbey Crusaders.
Belmont Abbey hired Haley Allen as the new acro and tumbling coach and hired her back in August or so, fairly late in the year. The department had to make a change, and Haley comes in with a great resume. All right, how about it for the red and whites? Moving along here through the compulsory. Next up for King will be the toss. But before we get there, these important messages on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We are back here at the Wheeler Center, Belmont, North Carolina. We're in the compulsory home opener for acro and tumbling, and now King will show us the toss. All right, King finishes off the toss, and we'll see what Belmont Abbey has in store, but now we'll toss it to break on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Welcome back. Crusaders turn in the toss with Blakely, Liniger, Schrout. And Bouchier. King picked near the bottom of the preseason poll. Belmont Abbey 7th. King has defeated Belmont Abbey 7 times in their history. The Crusaders have knocked off the Tornado only twice. Belmont Abbey trying to find their 3rd ever win against the Tornado and 2nd at home. That's the toss for the Crusaders. Next is the tumbling on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. King, as we said, normally at the top of the league every year, but a brand new head coach in Claire Sexton, and of course Belmont Abbey the same. First year for Haley Allen, 2 rookie head coaches battling it out here in Conference Carolinas.
The final heat of the compulsory event will be the tumbling heat. First up in compulsory tumbling, the King Tornado.
And now Belmont Abbey's turn to wrap things up here in the tumbling here in the Acro. All right, Crusaders wrap us up here, the Acro portion of the compulsory. We'll give the judges time to tally the scores. We'll take a longer break here, back in a few minutes on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, welcome back to the 5 elements. We'll show you that score in a moment. King competing first in the Heat 1 5 element here. Now let's take a look at those scores here from the overall running tally. Belmont Abbey stumbled a little bit in the Acro and the Pyramid. The Crusaders with a nice rebound, 9.5. The toss also went to Belmont Abbey significantly, 9.4. Tumbling was about even. Belmont Abbey edged out King, and then the total, King 32.7, Belmont Abbey 31.8 there for the totals. Take a break here. Back in a moment. Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, returning here to the Wheeler Center. We go into Belmont Abbey participating here in the Heat 1 5 element. There's Belmont Abbey in the 5 elements. Start value of $9.95 here for the Crusaders. All right, Crusaders wrap up the 5 elements. We move on to Heat 2 for both teams. King is up next on BASN. King with a perfect start value here as we go to the synchronized element, Heat number 2. We shall see how the judges see that. Multiple stumbles there for the Tornado, and that may hurt the score. Belmont Abbey will respond in their second heat momentarily. We'll come back after these messages on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Wheeler Center. Belmont Abbey will participate here in the second heat. Westbrook, Audette, Lanier, and Bouchier. Pretty good score for the Crusaders here, 9-3-5. All right, we finished the second heat here in the Acro. King up next in the 7 element. You want to stay tuned for that on BASN. We're back here at the Wheeler Center. King's turn in the 7 element. We're almost completed here with the heat, the heat portion of Acro. King here in the 7 element with Eder, Sweeney, Sonicson, and Lauren Hurley. Start value of 10 here for the Tornado. All right, Belmont Abbey's last chance here in the third heat. Can they top King? We'll see on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. And here's Belmont Abbey in the third heat of the night. Crusaders with a loud response right there in the third heats. That wraps up the Acro portion of the night. Judges will tally up the scores. We'll have those for you in a matter of minutes or so. And then we'll move on to the Pyramid here tonight. Home opener for Belmont Abbey Acro and Tumbling on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Welcome back here to Wheeler. We move on to the Pyramid. This is Heat 1 for the Tornado. King is through here, and what a structure it was. Belmont Abbey can build their own when we return on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back here, Wheeler. Let's take a look at the updated score here. In the 5 element, King 8-7 to win there. 6 element went to Belmont Abbey convincingly. The 7 element also to the Tornado. Belmont Abbey won the overall Acro total 24.2, and then the running tally, Belmont Abbey now pulls in front here. 56 even, 55.85 for the Tornado. Belmont Abbey with a 9.7 start value here in the first part of the pyramid. Tough ending there for the Crusaders. We'll see if they bounce back as we get to Heat 2 after this on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, welcome back. We go to the second heat here of the pyramid. Crusaders with a little stumble there at the end of the first pyramid. And now King's turn in the second heat of the pyramid.
It's now time for Pyramid Heat 2, the synchronized pyramid. Up first with a start value of 9.5, the King Tornado.
And here comes King. King rounding into form after the second heat of the pyramid. Belmont Abbey will try to respond after this on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Now Belmont Abbey in the second heat of the pyramid. Crusaders continue to maintain the lead. We've got one more heat to go in the pyramid. King up next on BASN. King Tornado to round out the third pyramid. High bar to climb for the Abbey. And their pyramid reached that height. Find out on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, here we come. Third and final heat in the pyramid. Start value of 10 for Belmont Abbey. Rough ending there for the Crusaders. We'll see how the score tallies up when our judges get a hold of them. As of now, Belmont Abbey in the lead. Who's in the lead? You'll find out after this on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back with you here at halftime. Acrobatics and Tumbling home opener for the Crusaders as they welcome in the King Tornado. Welcome back. Voice of the Crusaders, Jeffrey Giles, Tom Appleton, our producer. Belmont Abbey, at last check of the scores, was in the lead. We are still waiting on them here from the judges, and we'll continue to keep you updated here through halftime. But first, we'll take a timeout on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, welcome back here to the Wheelers. So let's take a look at the scores here from the match so far. King took a sizable advantage there, 83.1 to 78.6. They really bested Belmont Abbey in the third event. The first event as well, the inversion. So King in the lead right now. Let's take a look now at the toss. King finishes the first heat in the toss. Belmont Abbey to answer in their own heat after this timeout. And we'll show you the upcoming schedule when we return on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We're back with you here, Jeffrey Childs and crew on BASN, Acrobatics and Tumbling, home opener. And for King, you'll see the synchronized event here in Heat 2. All right, and just like that, King is through. Belmont Abbey is next as we move along in the Heat program on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Crusaders on the way here, folks. Start value of 9.0 in the second heat. Crusaders down big here to King, surprising 83.1 to 78.6. But they're on the right track, I think. And we'll go to the third heat after this on BASN. King Tornado, third heats in the toss. And there it is for the Tornado. Belmont Abbey with one last chance to respond. Won't you come back and join us on BASN? 4 here for the Crusaders. One more heat to go to try to impress these judges. All right, Crusaders finish it off here, the heat. The judges will round up the scores here. We'll get those for you, and then we'll move on to the tumbling portion. 4th of 5 events here tonight on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back here at the Wheeler Center. Let's show you the updated scores here from the judges in the third event there in the Salto. Belmont Abbey with a win there, synchronized also to the Crusaders. In the open pass, 8.6 for the Abbey. King wins it there, though. And the toss total, Belmont Abbey wins it 25.05, King 24.9. Overall team total, King in the lead, significantly 108 to 103.650.
Up next with a start value of 8.6, the Belmont Abbey Crusaders. Competing for Belmont Abbey, number 10, Sadie Hunt, and number 45, Hayden Lanier.
Duo for the Crusaders. Head to the trio for King after this. Thrice is nice on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Back here at the trio, King will feature Dobson, Coffee, and Storer.
We now move on to the trio pass. Up first with a start value of 8.75, the King Tornado. Competing for King, number 20, Brooke Dobson. Number 10, Carrington Coffee. And number 9, Kinsey Storer.
All right, Belmont Abbey's trio is up next after this. 8.75 the start value here for the Crusaders. Fluellen, Shane, and Henry. All right, the quad is next. We'll see you then on the BASN. We're back here at Wheeler Quad Pass. Morgan, Oradane, Ehaz, and Audette for the Crusaders. I beg your pardon there. For King, Frazier, Sweeney, McCracken, and Sanixon. And Belmont Abbey will be up next, but first, these words on BASN. We are in the quad, and the Crusaders ready at all four corners here. Morgan, Oradane, Ehaz, and Audette. Almost done here with the tumbling, and then it's the final team event of the night. All right, left to go here for both teams, the aerial, the 6 element, and the open. I want to thank our fine sponsors right now on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Eder completes the aerial. Belmont Abbey will feature their own high-flying aerials after this on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back here at the Abbey, ready for the Abbey's aerial. Tia Fluellen, a sophomore. Fluellen, flawless. Back for the 6 element in a moment on BASN. We are back at the Wheeler Center. King's turn now. 6 element tumbling for Kinsey Storer. We are still waiting on the judges here. Belmont Abbey with some ground to make up here on the Tornado. And here we go. Store done. Belmont Abbey will send out Sadie Hunt for her 6th element after this on BASN. Here's Sadie Hunt, ready to go here finally in the 6th element. We'll take a timeout on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back here at the Wheelers Center. We are continuing in the tumbling here. And for King, it's number 20, Brooke Dobson in her open routine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final heat in tumbling will be the open pass. Up first with a start value of 9.65, the King Tornado. Competing for King is number 20, Brooke Dobson.
9.65 the start value. Belmont Abbey will counter with Megan Henry to finish off the tumbling when we return on BASN. Here's Megan Henry in the open. And with that, 4 events completed here. Just the team event to come next. We'll get you the scores after this. Few minutes. Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, welcome back. Let's look at the scores so far. And Belmont Abbey has made a massive leap here in the tumble. King won the single there. Belmont Abbey won the duo. Or King won the duo 8.7. The quad went to the Crusaders. Aerial, big advantage to Belmont Abbey as well. Same thing for the open tumbling. Belmont Abbey winning the tumbling by over 4 points. They are nearly tied in the total score. King 152.750. Belmont Abbey 152.225. It is anyone's event here in the team, and here we go. King with a rousing rendition of that team events. Crusaders, their last hurrah here to answer it. And our last event of the night, Belmont Abbey coming up in the team event. But first, this time out on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We are back here at the Wheeler Center and the final team event. The Crusaders and try to spring ahead of King here. King with the slimmest of margins over the Crusaders. Multiple falls there by the Tornado in the tumbling event really opened the door for the Crusaders, and the sharp execution by Belmont Abbey has made it possible for them to come from behind and win the match tonight to get a victory and start the season 1-0. They may give Belmont Abbey extra time here in their team event due to the injury that happened earlier. Not really got any confirmation on that as of yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the final event once again. With a 95.2 start value, please welcome to the floor the Belmont Abbey Crusaders.
Here come the Crusaders. And the Crusaders complete their team event here. We'll take a couple of minutes here. The judges will tally everything up, and we'll get our final score of the night. See who emerges on top and starts the season 1-0 after this on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Belmont Abbey falling tonight to King, but they sing the alma mater as we do every day on campus. Welcome to the Ortho Carolina postgame show. The Crusaders fall to King tonight. We want to thank Blair Primus, Dr. Ray-John Matra, and the staff of Ortho Carolina for their support of BASN. For excellence from orthopedics, there's only one name to remember. Ortho Carolina's You Improved. We'll take a break here, come back, and recap it on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. All right, we're back here, beg your pardon, at the Wheeler Center in the Ortho Carolina postgame show. King with a victory tonight over the Abbey. Let's look at that final score. King won the compulsory 32.75. Acro total went the way of the Abbey. Pyramid total was King as well, 27. The toss total, the Abbey edged them there with 25. Tumbling, that was a big gain for the Abbey. And then the team event, King won it just barely, 75.94 to Belmont Abbey's 74.50. Final score, King with a win tonight over Belmont Abbey by over 2 full points, 228 to 226. That's our recap here. We've got one final Ortho break, and we'll come back, thank our sponsors, and wrap it all up for you. Ortho Carolina postgame show on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.